Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to analyze the sources you share and really pull out the core insights.
That's right.
Today, we're tackling a big one. It's something a lot of people dream about, but maybe find, well, a bit daunting. The path to becoming a millionaire, especially if you're starting out in a typical 9-to-5 job.
Right. The daily grind.
Exactly. And our source for this deep dive is pretty interesting. It's a YouTube video from Natalie Dawson. She claims this incredible journey going from, I think it's $55,000 a year.
And a job she hated, apparently.
Yeah, to a net worth, she states, is $100 million. Quite the claim.
It really is.
So the big question we're asking today is, what if there's a real actionable roadmap for this? You know, a set of actual steps.
10 concrete steps, according to the source.
Right. 10 steps designed to, well, speed things up, to get you thinking and acting and earning like a millionaire faster.
And our mission here really is to unpack that roadmap. We want to get beyond just what she says to do.
Yeah, the how-to list.
Exactly. We need to understand why she believes these specific steps are so critical for that kind of massive financial shift.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it, what fundamental changes are actually needed?
And maybe more importantly, are you listening, willing to make them? It definitely forces some self-reflection.
Okay, let's dive into phase 1, laying the foundation. Step 1 is identify your millionaire skill.
Your millionaire skill.
Okay, the idea here is basically figuring out what successful people earning a lot, what do they know or do that you don't right now?
So it's a knowledge gap assessment, essentially.
Kind of. And she suggests this really direct method, like surprisingly simple. Go to Google,
Okay.
search occupations of millionaires, then make a grid, list the jobs, rate how interested you are, like 1 to 5.
Right.
And then honestly assess what you already know about it. She apparently even has a sticker saying, Google that shit.
Yeah.
Uses it all the time.
I mean, it's practical. What's fascinating there is the push away from just follow your passion.
Totally. It feels very pragmatic, market-driven.
Yeah. Less romantic, maybe, but potentially more direct.
Mm-hmm.
She gives her own example, right? Realizing she wasn't great at math.
And didn't want more schooling.
Exactly. So looking at her interests and what she could do, she picked entrepreneurship. She saw it as the, quote, fastest and easiest path for her.
It really puts the question out there, doesn't it? How honest are we willing to be about our own strengths and weaknesses to find the efficient path, not just the one that sounds nice?
Precisely. Efficiency over pure passion.
All right, next step. And this one. Well, it causes some ripples. Step 2 is stop hanging out with your broke friends.
Oof. Yeah, that's blunt.
It really is. The source flat out says you'll never be a millionaire if you can't cut, quote, broke people out of your life. It's aggressive.
It is aggressive.
Yeah.
And, you know, while the idea of protecting your energy and being mindful of your environment, that has merit.
Sure, the whole you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with idea.
Right. But this all or nothing approach, just cutting people out.
Yeah.
That's tough. Doesn't that risk isolation?
Yeah.
Or maybe missing the other kinds of value friends bring, you know, beyond the financial.
That's a fair point. It could be interpreted very harshly.
I think the deeper point, connecting it back, is about how much your environment influences you, often subtly. Natalie shares this story, right?
Yeah, about her friends when she started her business.
They made fun of her, asked condescending questions, and then just ignored it. Went back to talking about, as she puts it, old bullshit.
That sounds incredibly invalidating.
And that's her argument. That kind of invalidation makes you want to give up. So the challenge isn't maybe just about money, but about whether your network fuels you or drains you. Are they excited for your goals or not?
It forces you to think about the energetic return on those relationships. Okay, so if you follow that advice, maybe controversially, and distance yourself, you need replacements, right?
You need input from somewhere else.
Which leads right into step 3. Cultivate mentorship. Surround yourself with rich teachers.
Find new influences.
Yes, identify your idols. She mentions Elena Cardone for her, and then asks this really hard question. Would my idol want to hang out with the person I am right now?
Wow, that's a gut check.
Totally. It forces you to see the gap. The practical tip is find the 10 most successful people in your chosen field and just study them.
Not just casual study, right?
No, she emphasizes targeted study. She picked Grant and Elena Cardone specifically. Why? Because they were a power couple, had a $1 billion net worth her target, and worked together.
So hyper-specific alignment with her goals.
Exactly. And she consumed everything. Podcasts, YouTube, books, used, quote, every waking minute.
This really highlights the difference between just, you know, learning stuff randomly and strategically choosing who you learn from based on their actual results.
She criticizes people who study from the wrong people.
Or don't even know what their target is in the first place.
Yeah.
It demands that honest look at where you are versus where you want to be.
Yeah.
Very intentional learning.
Okay, phase 2. This is about action. Step 4. Stop wasting your time.
Simple, but easier said than done.
For sure. Time is framed as your absolute most critical asset. The advice: use every spare moment. Mornings, evenings, weekends.
Even driving or showering, she mentions.
Yeah. Use it all to build that millionaire skill set, learning from the people you identified in step 3. It's relentless.
It completely reframes free time, doesn't it? It's not downtime, it's growth time.
And she calls out the usual suspects: Netflix binges, mindlessly scrolling social media.
Right. And her advice there is pretty direct, too. If you want to be a millionaire, you should only be following millionaires on social media.
Filter your input aggressively.
The goal, she states, is becoming an expert. Truly competent. A student of the game. Knowing the terms, the players, everything.
That level of dedication is intense. It makes you ask, are we really maximizing our minutes or just consuming stuff that doesn't move the needle?
And what's the underlying psychology driving that choice for passive consumption versus active growth? That's a whole other layer.
Okay, now for maybe the most controversial one yet, step 5. She calls it probably the hardest for most people to accept.
Uh-oh.
It's go into debt.
Wow. Okay. How does she frame that?
She immediately clarifies it means being willing to invest. The idea is money isn't just for saving. It's a tool, a lever to get you where you need to go.
That's a big mindset shift. But framing it as go into debt is definitely provocative. We have to acknowledge the risk there, right? Not all debt is good debt. This could be dangerous if misinterpreted.
Absolutely. What's the line between a smart investment and just getting into financial trouble?
Well, her perspective seems to be that this kind of strategic investment, even if it involves debt, is about buying access.
Yeah.
Getting into rooms with people who have done what you're trying to do.
By forcing yourself to level up.
Exactly. It forces you, she says, to become a different type of person. She quotes Grant Cardone. If you don't invest time and money, you will never have time and money.
And she has a personal story here.
The $4,000 marketing course she couldn't technically afford.
Right. She talks about panicking, worrying about wasting it, asking, what if I don't make it back?
But she did it anyway.
Yeah, saying, I'm going all in because it's going to force me to become a different version of myself. And I'm unwilling in 1 year from now to be the same person that I am today. That's powerful commitment.
It is. And the nuance here, I think, is crucial. It's not about credit card debt for consumer goods. It's investment debt. Investing in knowledge, skills, access, things with a potential high return.
Betting on yourself, essentially.
Yes. And leveraging money, even borrowed money, for specific opportunities that unlock growth. Like she says about a mastermind, the $10K isn't what makes you broke.
It's not having the knowledge inside that mastermind that's keeping you broke.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It's a total shift from a scarcity view of money to seeing it as a lever.
Yeah.
Again, requires careful calculation.
Okay, moving on. Step 6 feels connected. Get yourself in the room.
Physically be there.
Yeah, go to the conferences, the events, where those rich teachers, those successful people you're studying actually are. Get into proximity. You can't just learn online forever.
But it's not just about showing up, is it? That feels passive.
No, exactly. The source really stresses strategic presence. You need to prepare before the event, finish projects, have something concrete done.
So you have something to offer somebody.
Right. She jokes, right now you're lame, but you are going to have something to offer. That commitment to having something valuable forces you to level up before you even get there.
So you're not just a face in the crowd. You're prepared to engage, contribute, connect meaningfully, make an impression.
Become somebody valuable in the process.
And that flows perfectly into step 7.
Which is?
Find out who's going to be in that room and research the hell out of them.
Become, as she puts it, the ultimate stalker, but the good kind.
The good kind, meaning informed, prepared, not creepy.
Exactly. Do your homework.
This is where the digital age is a huge advantage, isn't it? You can learn so much beforehand.
Totally. And the goal isn't necessarily to meet everyone.
It's targeted. Find a handful of people who can help you get to where you're trying to go. Understand their work, their needs, maybe find connections before the event.
She mentions looking for relevant WhatsApp or Facebook groups.
Right. Any pre-event community. It's about being incredibly intentional with your networking time. As she says, Millionaires always go into rooms totally prepared.
Proactive, not reactive networking. Strategic.
Okay, phase 3, execution and keeping it going. Step 8 is a big one. You have to learn how to sell.
Ah, sales. A word that makes some people uncomfortable.
It really does. But the source is emphatic. The richest, most successful people you know, they all know how to sell.
And it's not just for salespeople, right?
No, it's universal. You're selling yourself, your ideas, selling to customers, eventually selling to build a team. It happens daily, often without us even calling it selling.
So how do you learn it alongside your main millionaire skill?
The advice is to learn them concurrently. She recommends Grant Cardone's book, Sell or Be Sold. Apparently, it helps you get sold on yourself first.
Building that internal confidence.
Exactly. And she redefines selling beautifully, I think. It's not about being pushy or braggy.
It's about what?
It's about listening to somebody, truly understanding their problems, and then offering effective solutions.
That reframes it completely, from manipulation to helping.
Yes. And if you see selling as genuinely helping, how does that change every conversation you have? Professionally, even personally. It's a profound shift.
All right, step 9. This one sounds very direct. Set your millionaire metrics.
No ambiguity there.
The source says, point blank, you will never be a millionaire if you don't have millionaire metrics. It's literally just math.
Removes the fuzziness. It's about clarity, accountability.
Without those concrete, daily, measurable targets, how do you even track progress? It's too easy to get lost or discouraged.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And she gives that specific example, making, what was it, $2,740 a day?
Makes you a millionaire in a year.
So you work backward. How many clients, products, service packages, whatever it is, how many do you need each day to hit that number?
You have to break it down for day. Know the daily target.
Even when things go wrong, when you hit roadblocks, which she acknowledges are part of the process, you still have that daily number to aim for.
It forces you to quantify the dream. Make it a concrete plan, not just a wish.
And that brings us to the final step, step 10, which is maybe the most surprising.
Yeah, it seems counterintuitive at first. Remind yourself every day that you are still broke.
Wait, really? You need to remind yourself you're broke.
She insists, yes, you do. But it's not meant to be depressing.
Okay, so what's the purpose?
It's psychological. It's about remembering why you're working so hard, what it is that you're working so hard for so that you don't give up.
So it's fuel, not demoralization.
Exactly. She describes her own process. Look at the vision board, the dream, then look at the bank account, the reality. Back and forth.
Because her reality doesn't meet her potential yet.
Precisely. The core belief is your potential is so much greater than what you've already created. This daily check-in keeps that gap, that potential, front and center.
So you're harnessing that feeling of not being there yet as motivation, as drive, rather than letting it defeat you, using the tension as fuel. That's actually quite clever.
So there we have it, 10 steps. Powerful, sometimes definitely provocative steps from Natalie Dawson's perspective on how to accelerate that journey from 9 to 5 to millionaire.
Yeah, it covers a lot of ground. Identifying the skill, managing your environment, strategic learning, intense time management.
Investing strategically, getting in the right rooms, preparing for them, learning to sell, setting those hard metrics.
And finally, that daily reminder to keep the fire lit. It's comprehensive for sure, and definitely leaves little room for standing still.
This deep dive really does challenge a lot of conventional thinking about building wealth, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It pushes for pretty radical shifts in relationships, how we use time, our whole mindset around money and investment.
The core message that keeps coming through seems to be about intense intentionality.
Intentionality, relentless learning, and crucially, a willingness to take actions that might feel uncomfortable, but are highly strategic. That seems key.
So thinking about all this, what does it mean for you listening right now? The source emphasizes that your current reality doesn't meet your potential yet.
That gap we just talked about.
Exactly. So based on everything we've unpacked today, here's something to chew on, a final thought.
Okay.
What is one specific action from these 10 steps? Maybe one that feels particularly uncomfortable or challenging that you are willing to commit to taking starting in the next 24 hours. Just one thing to begin closing that gap between your current reality and that millionaire potential.
One uncomfortable, actionable step. That's a powerful question to end on.
Think about it. Let it push you forward.